bed down for 5 minutes. It's lovely and comfy.
Oh, come on, Doreen. Elsie'll go down.
Look, I haven't got hair cream on. I'm not staying in it.
Now, come on now, get shut. That's not your property. Ned, come on.
Oh, it's
shave.
not yours neither.
It is now, love.
Oh, I don't know how you could do it for the shame. Carrying off folks' furniture.
Come on, we haven't got all day.
I was just looking for that piece of sack.
Never mind the sacking, shove it in. And tell Vinny not to leave the job half done. We don't want too much stuff left on pavement.
He's just gone for some facts.
Nothing to do with those. Hey, don't you ever have bad dreams? It's like being the public hangman.
Somebody's got to hang them, love. Somebody's got to repossess cars. Somebody's got to take their furniture if they don't pay the rent. Otherwise, the whole country would grind to an halt. And I want you off that before I come out again.
No, they ought to leave it for the old folks to take the weight off their feet. This chair was donated to the council by Elsie.
Oh, come on. They'll have you in van as
Well, I wouldn't mind. I rather fancy that one. Abducted by the bailiffs.
Sheila, how much is it taking?
Oh, they're stripping the place by the looks of it. Elsie's down here in the skirt.
Afternoon.
Hey, isn't it shaming all your stuff outside?
Oh, can't we do something?
Well, I'm not training myself to Elsie down a chiffonier or lying down in front of the van.
You've got no principle. You shouldn't have let it go so far, showing up the whole street.
I'm not embarrassed. There wasn't any of the treasures out yet.
Look at that, all your private affairs out on the pavement.
See this man showing people what she's got.
Oh, yeah, but it's all right. We know her, don't we? We've got these friends coming this evening.
Oh, heck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and if they come and find the bailiffs in the next house but one, they'll think we live in a real skid row, won't they?
Huh?
What do you think she'll do?
Well, I don't know. Live rough for a bit, I suppose. She's very adaptable, isn't she?
Look, ma'am, if you just listen for a minute.
Shocked by my own
How
son.
do you expect me to know they were bailiffs? I only opened the door. Does he look like a
You
bailiff?
could have told by his eyes. And you be careful with that ash on that chair. It was recovered at Christmas.
Which Christmas? Ma'am, I know I let him in.
Let him in. You handed it to them on a button. When I think of the nights I stayed up with you, burping, you changing, you slaving for you. As soon as you're old enough, you turn around and drop me in.
Oh, well, if you won't listen.
I have sweated and slaved the best years of my life. to make
We
it...
needed some new furniture any road. It's not very contemporary looking. Oh, well, perhaps you're right.
Oh, Elsie, I couldn't remember if I told you, but you compare many times, and then they've got to stop all this nonsense, you know.
Thank you very much. I'll think on. I'm always grateful for any advice you can offer me. It was very helpful the last time, remember?
Yes, well, I just thought I'd stick me head in.
And you be careful with that chair. It's a family heirloom.
It looks it.
My son. Welcome home, Dennis.
We'll be all right, you and me, Mum. I'll get this room fixed up nice.
And what do you propose to do? Make me a three-piece suite out of a packet of cornflakes, do you?
Yeah, well, you see, the modern style of decor is not to have things looking too close.
Oh, it won't be that, I can tell you that. You'll be having your tea off the slop store off my bed upstairs, if I give you anything to eat.
Well, they can't take everything.
Can't they just stand there and watch them?
Oh, I suppose you're right. They can't get more than 30 bob for that lot they're taking out so far.
Dennis Tanner, do you know what I think?
No, what, Mum?
I think you've been in the boozer and met him and they tipped you a couple of gob bob to let him in.
What, your own son?
My own flesh and blood.
I've never seen him before in my life. You can't take that.
You can, mate.
But I need that for my business, you see. It's my job, television and talent spotting, studying.
I'm afraid it's not classed as a tool of the trade, sir. We can take anything that's on the land.
Get over to the Rovers and get them newspapers on the job. If I'm going to be undrawn and quartered for the sake of this street, I want some photographs taken.
Will you be taking your club out that sideboard, missus?
Me clobber?
Guess we have to take it. We don't want to take your belongings, personal ones.
If you think that I'm bringing out all my things as won't wash and you've got another thing coming.
You'll have to get them out, missus. It won't embarrass me. I've lived, you know. I'm a married man.
Oh,
Are you calling me a liar, Jack Walker?
I'm only saying them two's from Flying Horse.
I have not been near the Flying Horse for a month.
Now, see, they put a little rubber stamp on labels so as they know it's theirs.
That's no stamp. It's a bit of Dolly Blue or something. They're yours.
One and a tanner for the others, but I can't take what's not mine. Besides, I've little enough room for empties in backyard as it is.
Right, you might as well draw up a chair to count, and I am not budging till we've settled this.
Excuse me, will you? Well, what can I get you, lad?
Hello, Mr. Walker. Ladies, nothing for me, thank you, Mr. Walker. I was just wondering, that is, I wouldn't be asking if it weren't vital.
You know where it is. I wondered how long it'd be.
Oh, thanks very much, Mr. Walker. And just to show willing, there's me fourpence.
There you go, they're all saying, come back from London, flashing the money about.
Well, can I get you anything?
You can get me a tanner for those 2 bottles.
Now, don't start that again, Mrs. Sharple.
You have obligations as landlord, Jack Walker, and one of them is honouring debts on bottles.
she's right, you know.
Now, look, Mrs. Sharples, it isn't the money, but Annie says we've got to draw a line.
folk bring milk bottles, vinegar bottles, dandelion and burdock bottles, even medicine bottles. And they swear blind that they bought them here.
I am very careful with my bottles. I keep a tally of them. They are yours.
Mrs. Sharples, I keep a pub, and I'm not a dustbin man.
Well, thanks very much, Mr. Walker.
Oh, hello, Dennis. You're settling down nicely.
Hello, Mrs. Caldwell. Yes, but the pace here is a bit slower than it is in the smoke.
Well, what did bring you back, Dennis? Couldn't you stand the tube trains and the moving staircases?
No, well, it was the talent that's brought me back. You know, all the stars of tomorrow are playing up here in the clubs today. Well, I'll have to be going.
Oh, I wish you'd come back when Jed was here. He hadn't any close friends.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you after.
He hasn't come back with any better manners, I see.
Oh, well, I expect he wanted to get back to try and help the bailiffs. Help you? The bailiffs? They're not here. Ay, come, they are and all. Hey, just look at that table. You can see from here it's had some knocking about. Ooh, she has got some cheap stuff as that Elsie Tanner. Come away, will you? Well, I echoes like come away. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself coming in here without letting on. Standing there talking to Dennis Tanner just as if it was an ordinary day.
Oh, Martha, it's not polite to stare at people's troubles. We came in here so we shouldn't look, didn't we, Mr. Tatlock?
Aye. And I didn't like to let on to Dennis because I thought it might embarrass him.
Come on, Ena, it'll all be gone.
I've got better things to do than go for Elsie Tanner's utility suite. Go yourself.
I can't go by myself, Ena. It looks nosy on your own. Oh, come on. Look, if it's the tanner you're worried about, I'll give it you myself. Here, there you are. Come on, we're missing it all.
Oh, well, I suppose I better keep my eye on you. I don't want to make a scene.
Oh, give us a drink, Jack. Same as usual.
Ah, you know, I saw 'em out at window. When you've seen one bailiff's raid, you've seen 'em all.
Go on, get up. They're gutting the house.
Ah, well, she was always running around with holes in her clogs when she was a little girl, Elsie Tanner. Her mum never had any furniture. It's family failings repeating themselves.
Ooh, they'll have no left.
If you knew your law of landlord and tenant, you'd know they can't take everything.
I do. They can't take her bed nor the tools of her trade.
No, as far as Elsie Tanner's concerned, that's the same thing.
Hey, do you want a photograph of something? You've seen it all before. That table cost me £4 8 years ago at Jack Smedley's. I know the left leg's gone, but I don't care because I'm common. Any more questions?
Elsie, we weren't staring at you, love. We just thought we might be able to help.
Oh, no, it's not you, love. It's that gawping lot from Rosamond Street. Oh, go on, Mrs. Bradshaw. We all know that you sleep 8 in a bed in your house. Go on. Don't you come it with me.
Hey, pick him up, Elsie.
You're very popular around here, Mrs. Tanner.
And you'll laugh the other side of your face when you find what the papers have got to say tonight.
Mrs. Tanner, I don't care if they put me on telly as long as I get shot of this lot.
We've not had an audience like this for quite a bit, Mr. Ryden. Shall I give him a tune on musical spoons till we get cracking again?
Vinny, shove that stuff up to front of van. Come on, let's see what's left in front row.
Harry, you've got to do something.
Look, Lord, if I say one word to Elsie, she'll knock me into the middle of next week.
Yeah, but Phil and Betty'll see it all.
Well, they're not coming till tonight.
Yeah, but at the rate Elsie's going, she'll still be standing out on the pavement at midnight arguing over a tablecloth.
You be careful with that banister, else I'll cut you off at the stocking tops, I will. And we have here a disgusting chest of drawers made out of very cheap wood.
Elsie, love, don't you think it's about time you called it a day? You'll have nought left.
Oh? Oh, the U.S. cavalry has arrived at it. I wondered when my allies would get here.
We'd help if we could.
You could have helped a lot before, so go home. You could have stuck together against Wormwood.
It wouldn't do any good. Look what's happening now.
Look, if it had none of us paid the rent, he wouldn't have dared to put us all out in the street and make a jumble sale, would he?
Look, they've won, Elsie.
Yeah, because they're all as knock-kneed and soft-headed as you are. Did you see that sideboard?
I've got dust around the back of it since VE Day.
Oh, and it had things chalked on the back. Santa Fe Trail. And somebody been trying to carve their initials on top.
I always was a wild little lad, was Dennis Tanner.
Do you think them two men would like a cup of tea? You... Oh, well, I just thought they looked tired and it's rather heavy furniture. Oh, well, if you think so.
Are you all right there, Mrs. Sharples, or would you care to come down in the 2 and 9?
You mind your own business, Mrs. Tanner, and I'll mind
I
mine.
just thought you might have a better view, that's all.
Look, don't you think you better keep quiet? It's a long time since I saw bailiffs on Coronation Street. You've nothing to be proud of.
You chicky-faced monkey, so I know under the tone of the street, am I?
Ah, well, if anybody's the next word of that game, it's you.
Oh, just because somebody sets up for herself and stands up for her rights, you wait and see, Mrs. Sharples. One of these days you'll be sorry. You'll have... Oh, what's the hell do you think you're doing?
What do you mean, ma'am?
What do I mean, ma'am? What do you think you're doing, eating?
I've just been and made myself a butty. I've had no breakfast.
They're pulling the house down about our ears, and all you can do is make yourself a butty, I'll tell you.
What else do you expect me to do?
How did you get in?
I came right back. I was starving.
You're supposed to be phoning.
Yeah, well, I did. They just told me what they told you. They'll send this photographer chap round.
Oh. Oh, well. Well, Mr. Wormhole's going to look very black when he's in the newspaper tonight. I've made my point. You can just dump all that stuff back in again.
Why?
Yeah, the rent's inside. I've made my point, you see.
Go and get us a couple of pies from that shop, Vinny.
I'm not serving you.
You meet some funny people in this business, Vinny. All right, missus, I know it's your chair. You look at them. They won't shift, you know. I'll go and announce we're appearing in Rugby Road this afternoon. It's a matter of temperament in this business. All right, missus, where do you want it?
Well, it looks a bit more like home again now, doesn't it?
Oh, shut up. Seeing all those O's and the Lanos depressed me.
No, I must say, you've kept things looking nice. I mean, you've not let things go while I've been away, have you?
No, well, of course, all that money that you sent me every week from London helped a lot.
It were expensive down there. I were living hand to mouth.
Yeah, I suppose now you've come back, you think you're going to lie back, open your mouth, and I'm going to drop egg and chips in it for the rest of your life.
Well, I'll have some money coming in soon, but if you could sub me a bit till next week.
Dennis, I can't sub myself the price of a pair of kippers.
Well, he should have just given them a bit and then said if they'd be all right.
Look, I had the rent money, but I didn't know about the bailiffs charges. Nobody told me. I didn't know it was going to cost 35 bob for that van and 5 bob an hour for inspection charges or something. Wait till I see Lord Chief Justice Tatlock and his legal advice.
Well, we're here now, aren't we?
It's like a bad dream starting all over again.
I don't know why they drift south. It can't beat up here.
Dennis, I hate to mention it, and I don't want to open old sores, but
That's all right, ma'am.
have you come home to your country cottage just for a rest cure, or are you thinking of getting a job?
Yeah, well, I have to survey the field a bit. I mean, I don't want to rush into anything that's not suitable, do I?
Oh, that's fine.
Is it, ma'am?
Yes, I feel better now. I was beginning to think that London had changed you somewhat. Dennis, tell me something, will you?
What's that, ma'am?
Well, it's just that while he was away, I was thinking about it, and I couldn't get sleep for it.
No, what was it?
Have you ever brought home a proper wage packet since you left school?
Well, you cheeky devil, you've had enough money out of my wages.
No, I'm only asking, a proper wage packet with the tax taken out and stamped down, stamped on the outside.
I work for people who trust me, and I trust them.
Well, it's all right. It wasn't important. I was just wondering, that's all. I suppose there's a lot of people like you. Give a man full of silver and say, there you are, Dennis, treat yourself.
Well, you'll talk different when you're old and living on 40 quid a week I give you in Switzerland.
That's a joke, I bet I will. Dennis, did you have any girlfriends or anything while you were in London?
Oh, they were all right, just London. It's very big. Well, I'll just go and phone that newspaper, find out what happened.
They're liars, that's what happened, saying they'd send. They don't really care about working people, in spite of what they say.
I'll just go and phone.
I was asking you about London. Look, you're not in any trouble or anything, are you? You've not had any brushes with the law.
Whatever gave you that idea?
I just can't imagine, love.
Evening, Mr. Barlow.
Oh, Rita. Up out, are you?
Well, I don't really know. I was going out with Lucille, but she's got to stay in. They've got people coming,
Oh, I see. Well, never mind, eh?
Not really much to do on your own.
No. Well, I'll just go in and get on with some marking, see how that composition of yours is.
Do you go out much, Mr. Barlow? I mean, with Mrs. Barlow.
A bit.
Oh. I just wondered if you knew what was on at the Regal.
No, I'm afraid I don't. Right, well, say goodbye then.
Yeah.
Do you do what you do to me? I wish I knew. If I knew.
chap. Oh, hello, Danny. Say, look, I'm ever so sorry about messing your hat up.
Oh, that's all right. Natural mistake. I have these blackouts myself.
Yeah, well, I should have made sure who you were before I jumped so quick, you know.
It's a long time since I've seen somebody fighting over a woman. I never have much trouble with them. I can get them without raising a finger myself.
No, I suppose it's different in London.
Oh, yeah. The old smoke swarming with birds, and they're all hungry for men. You know what I mean? It's a revelation, champ.
Oh, well, it's just I've been out with Sheila a few times, but, well, just lately she seems to have lost interest, like.
Well, you'll have to get her going then, won't you?
I'm not doing anything like that.
No, I mean, just have her interested, like.
Well, she thinks I'll just hang around, you know.
Well, give her a bit of a whirl. You get off with somebody else.
I don't fancy anybody
You don't have
else.
to fancy anybody else. Just show she's got a bit of competition.
Well, I suppose it's a thought.
You're dead right, it's a thought. Hey, well, I'd best be going because I want to line up a bit of talent for myself. I could put you on to somebody. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, well, there's your book anyway.
Didn't Mrs. Walker indicate any particular preference?
She wouldn't trust me with a message like that. Besides, I can't tell one end of a dress from t'other.
It's merely that Mrs. Walker did give us to understand that she would be placing a firm order.
Oh, well, you know what women are like.
I'm beginning to, Mr. Walker.
I've no doubt she'll see about it when she gets back from Derby.
Yes. Well, let's get off on our rounds, Miss Nugent. Let us sow our seed and hope that it will bear good fruit. If you'll pardon the expression. Good day, Mr.
Good day, Mr. Swindley.
Oh, then.
Hello, Harry. Come for reinforcements?
No, just the usual, please, Jack.
Oh, here we are. I thought perhaps your friends were supping you out of house and home.
No, they never turn up. I've left Concepta looking at the telly and eating a burnt casserole.
Some folk aren't very sociable, are they?
There you are, Mr. Walker. It's all yours.
I'm afraid it's a long time before I'll be able to say that again, lad. Now, look, I don't want you to think I'm making a fuss.
I know, Mr. Walker, I know. It's 5 calls today. I'm keeping careful check.
Oh, so am I, lad.
I've made 5 little pencil marks in your phone book, just to keep count. Now, what I'll do, I'll not keep giving you all them fortnesses.
No, I thought you might not.
No, but every time it adds up to 30 calls, I'll give you a 10-bob note.
Well, you've been giving it a good thumping today, all right. When I used it after you, Theo were red hot.
Oh, get off.
Hey, you're not still ringing up the newspapers, are you?
No, am I? They promise to help you, but they never do.
Yeah, well, they've got better things to write about than bailiffs arriving. Happens every day somewhere.
But my man wanted to make an issue of it.
Well, if she wanted a story, she ought to have gone on a hunger strike or gone for the bailiff with an axe.
It's a fine thing. You come home to see your mother, and it's like coming back to a madhouse.
Place doesn't change much, lad.
What are you all having then?
I'll have half in, sir.
A pint to bet. The bitter's dead rough in London, Mr. Walker. That's what's brought me home, really.
You know, I thought the next time I saw you, you'd be on telly with a guitar or something like that. By the way, what are you going to do up here, eh?
Oh, well, I'm like Case in the joint. We're going to expand.
Oh, in what direction?
Well, you know that part at Raincoat Factory which they don't use?
Ah, where they used to make leather puss and purses. That firm that went bust.
Well, Mr. Phillips thinks it might be a good place for a club.
What? A drinking club here?
Ah, he thinks it's ideal. I've got to go and give it once over. There's a jolly good cellar.
But it'll take all my trade.
Oh, no, it won't, Mr. Walker. It'll get all carried straight from outside. Well, don't let it get around because we haven't to tell anybody.
Oh, I should think not, indeed. I don't know what Mrs. Sharples will say if she sees the street swarming with wrestlers and striptease girls.
Hey, look, God's gift to the working girl.
Oh, shut up, will you? Hello, Jerry. Well, that's a lovely lady related to you.
Well, push off then.
What are you doing here all dressed up? Are you thinking of following us?
As a matter of fact, I'm waiting here for somebody. A friend.
What?
In fact, I think she's here now. Hello. You know Rita Spears?
We have met. Oh, come on then, Jerry. We don't want to be hanging around, do we?
No, there's nothing to keep us here.
What a daft little beggar. She's still at school. She's jailbait, that's what she is. She don't look like a school kid to me. You're dead right. Wish I were her size. You can tell she weren't born yesterday either. I wonder if he's safe with her. The right couple, they're well suited. Oh, shut up, will you? You and your ideas. Just look at the state of her. The transistor radio. Perhaps they've taken it down to the canal for a bit of mood music. Oh, belt up. You're jealous. Look, I don't fancy him all that much. There's no skin off my nose.
No, you can't win, kid. When they fancy a younger woman, you've had it. It's the way the world goes, kid.
Can't stand these half and half people. When you start, I think you should be able to follow it through.
It was you as told us to pay her rent in the first place.
I know, but once you got the bailiffs in, you should have given them a better run for their money. I mean, when they come back, they think we're all soft.
Do you remember when Mrs. Jarvis barricaded herself in for a week? I did think she was brave.
Oh, she just wanted some attention. Her husband had just left her. Wasn't a question of principle.
Are you all right in there, Mrs. Sharpwood?
Don't let on.
Must be feeling thirsty after that chimozzle, Elsie. What'll you have, love?
No, I don't want anything to drink, thank you. I just come in to make an announcement. I thought you lot would like to know that it's cost me £6 on top of my rent to the bailiffs.
I warned you, love.
I want to say how proud I am that we all stood up to Wormald. He won't be able to stand on us anymore again, will he? That's one thing about living in Coronation Street. Help's always there when you need it. Good night.
Well, I suppose we could have stuck together a bit more.
Wouldn't have done any good, Harry. You can't beat the landlords.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's big picture don't start for another 3/4 of an hour.
Oh, well, I never like seeing all them trailers.
It's all right in here, is it?
Oh, yeah. I've never been in this one before.
Oh, right. Well, what will you have then?
Gin and orange.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Walker. Gin and orange and a lemonade, please.
Right, John.
Hello, Mr. Aslop. Hello, Mr. Hewitt.
Hello, mate.
So you've got all the hard stuff now, have you? eh?
Oh, no, I'm still sticking to lemonade.
Oh, well, that'll be 3 bob, Jerry.
Right.
There you are. He's done all right for himself, hasn't he? I suppose she's what you call one of them sex kittens, isn't she? They didn't have girls like that when I was starting. Not that I could have afforded gins for them anyway.
Ordered what?
Gin and orange.
Mr. Walker. Don't chuck her out too fast. But she's in my class. She's only 15.
What?
Yeah.
Never in this world.
Now, look, don't...
All right, lad, all right. Don't worry. Leave it to me.
Why didn't you get a bit of lemon in it?
Oh,
Jerry, have you got a minute?
all right, I'll just get you some. Come on.
Hey, what's up? I've not had me drink.
Oh, yes, you have. Come on.
Wonder how long it'll be before our Lucille gets up to tricks like that.
Who told you how old I was?
Never you mind.
Smashing this is I might as well be with me uncle.
You should have been with your uncle, doing your own work.
Look! You asked me to come out.
Look, you never told me you were only 15. Mr. Walker could have got done for serving you.
Oh, don't be so bloomin' square. I've been in a pub before, you know.
You should have told me, showing me up like that.
What? I can't come out with you because I'm only 15. Get lost. I look old enough, don't I?
You look a bit too old for my liking.
Oh, we're frightened, are we? Well, run back to your man. There's plenty of fellas who'll have me.
Oh, thanks very much, you big nit.
Ah, well, that young Dennis left quieting down a bit since he come back from London.
Yeah. Well, he left a load of trouble up here, didn't he, when he went down there? I wouldn't mind betting he's left a load of trouble down in London to come back again.
And he's told a few funny stories, and different stories to my knowledge.
Yeah.
I wonder what he has come back for.
Stay with us for a look at the lives of the people who live in Manchester's real Coronation Street next. And at 8, don't forget the Coronation Street Years, a celebration of how the nation's oldest soap has portrayed an ever-changing society.